हरि ओम सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु दीर्घायुष्मान् भव स्त्रीभ्यः दीर्घ सुमंगली भव सर्वमंगलानि ऐश्वर्याणि च अभिवृद्धिर्भवतु तथास्तु. Now I am going into the Vivaha mantras, the misinterpretation and misunderstanding of those Vivaha mantras mocked by certain section of Tamil Nadu politicians, especially certain groups. So I am just going to clarify this. Now I am going to part 2. Here in part 2, this is English, then I will talk in Tamil. Here I am taking from the Rigveda, same book as I told you, 40 and 41. Now at 38 and 39 verse. 10th book, 10th mandala, 85th chapter, 38 and 39 verses. First 38 and then 39, I will understand. Now in the 40 and the 41st we saw that how patibihi manushya. Patihi is mean only yajamanar. Patihi, Rashtrapati, Senadipati, Prajapati, Prajanam Patihi, owner of the Prajas. Sena, owner of the army. Patihi means owner, yajamanar. And manushya jam, again I wanted to tell you, which came in the verse number 40. Manu, man is to think. Oh, if you add, it becomes manu. That is Yunadi Pratyaya. Manu becomes a noun now. Ukaranta noun now, referring to the thinker. The thinker. One who thinks, the thinker is Manu. You say think in English. Thinker is a noun. Same. Man, meditate, think and all. If you add that Ukarantaha Manuho, Yunadi Pratyaya Manuho, Shanj Pratyaya we have that Manushyans relating to the thinker. And Jaha, Manushya Jaha, I told you is both male and female gender. Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, Jaha, Jau, Jaha. Jaha is male, birth. One who is born as a male is Jan, from the Jan Dhatu means birth, born. Ja is female, Sita, Site, Sita, Ja, Je, Ja. So it is coming from the human race, both men and from the Yajamanar, so comes from the human race, that's all. It doesn't talk specifically of the husband or the wife to say Agni becomes the first husband, then the Gandharvas become the second husband, and then the Somaha becomes the first husband, the Gandharvas become the second, and Agni becomes the third, and the husband, is the fourth husband. These are all mockery. These are translations which are absolutely wrong. Okay, that I am emphasizing. Now let me go to the 38th and the 39 verses. Now what is 38? Again it is a respect. In the Vivaha, Surya Vivaha Suktam we have, coming from the Rigvedas, especially in the chapter 85, the verse runs like they worship Agni, the energy. See, you see the verse. Tubhyam Agne Pariya Avahan. Work is to carry. Avahan. Vahan is going on carrying. Avahan was going on carrying. Pariya Avahan Suryam. The verse is Suryam Vahatunam. Vahatunam. I will come to the word by word meaning later on. Vahatunam Saha. Along with him. Vahatunam Saha. Punaha Patibhyah. Punaha Patibhyah Jayam. Daha Agne Daha Agne Prajaya Saha. Prajaya Saha. Now what does it mean? Tubhyam is Tvam Yuvam Yuyam Yu. Tvam Yuvam Yuyam, fourth vibhakti. Tvam Tva Yuvam Vam Yushman Vaha Tvaya Yuvabhyam Yushmabhi Tubhyam Te Yuvabhyam Vam Yushmabhyam Vaha. I am not going deep into the grammar, just understand singular to you or for. For Agne, he says Pari Avahan. Pari is upasarga, pradakshinam, pariharam and all we say. Pari is upasarga, emphasis word, comes as a prefix. Avahan was going on carrying, was protecting, going on protecting for to you Agni. The Agni, they talk to Agni. For the Agni they give what? Surya. See, Surya is Surya. Surya is bride of sun god, Surya. Surya, because the akaranta strilinga, Suryam, Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachanam, Sitam, Ramam. Second accusative case, Ekavachanam, Suryam, that is the bride, for the sun, Tubhyam, Suryam, to the sun, your bride also, Parihavahan, the entire gods, the forces of nature and all, circumambulating the Agni, that's what he wants to say. The bride of the Surya, that is the bride. Here it is, Suryam is a bride of the sun god Surya. For you, I am telling, they are telling that even they means they refer to all the gods. Pariya Avahan. Vah is to carry, to protect. Vahan is, if you take Vahan, it is a Shatru Pratyaya, going on, carrying, protecting. Vahan. Aham Kurvan Asmi. I am going on doing the work. Vahan, I am carrying on. Avahan, you can generally relate it to Vedic time as a past tense, was going on carrying pariseshanam, round and round, circumambulating. Parihavan, Agni, who, the Surya, they took the bride of the Surya, circumambulating the Agni. Agni is energy here, it is not Surya. Surya is a sun. Sun is also energy, a part of energy, but Agni is pure. As Einstein says, everything is energy. Agni, they went on Surya. Suryam, Vahatunam, the Vahatu is a carrying, the one who carrier, with the carrier, is Artha. Vahatuna, Guruna, Guru Shabda Ukaranta for the students. Guru, Guravaha, Gurum, Gurunu, Guruna, along with since instrumental case. So Vahatu becomes, because of the Ukaranta Vahatu, it becomes a noun, Vahatuna, with the carrier, that means the carrier, with the bride, the Surya, her the bride, they Pariyavahan, they were going on circumambulating Agni. Suryam Vahatunam Saha, Punaha, again and again, Patibhyah is to the Yajamanas. Patibhyah, Jaya is a bride. Jayam is a Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachanam, accusative case, singular. Her the wife, her the Jaya. Jaya is a female born human. That's all. Ja. But you can take it because of Patibhyah Yajamana, the Jayam, you can take it as a bride. Okay, no problem. Jaya, Daha. See, Daha is the gave. The Agni gave. Adaha is actually the right one. But in Sanskrita, Vedic Sanskrita, Panini's 10 lakaras are there. But the 11th lakara is called the late lakara. Late lakara, where the Adaha is dropped. Here they say only Daha means gave. How can Daha be gave? Because Daha is not a past tense, but Adaha is the past tense. But in late lakara, in Vedic Sanskrita, not classical Panini Sanskrita, is dropped, but Daha means Adaha. As per Panini gives a particular verse for that. It is 3175. Panini's book, you can see Sutra chapter, and the verse number is 3175, where the A is dropped. Then the Da also is a past tense. So, okay, they gave. Who? They gave Agni, what? Adaha, after circumambulating Agni Daha, Agne Prajayaha Saha. Now what? Even the gods, they took the bride of the sun god as circumambulating Pradakshina of Agni. Who? Even the bride of the Surya. Circumambulating the Agni, and Agnehe Daha gave. Prajaya Saha. Prajaya means progeny. So, Agne gave the bride back after getting the circumambulation by the Surya, bride of the sun god, who did the circumambulation? Who helped the Devas, the cosmic forces? They took and circumambulated the Agni. That is why we have what is known as Agni Sakshi, Homa. Even Persians mainly with Agni. Like your Agnihotra, that is even in Shraddha time, the charcoal is being lit for generations in our house, and that fire only should be kept in the yaga for the Pitru Shraddham. Generation after generation. That is still continued by the Persians even today. In Persia, in Iran, in one of their villages called Zars or something, how they pronounce, I do not know. There, if you go to the YouTube, you can see that practically with your eyes. They take the Agni, they maintain the Agni throughout for centuries, thousands years. So Agni was a very purity. That is what it means. So even they took the sun god's wife, Pradakshina, and they gave it to the Agni, and Agni gave it back to the Patibhyaha, to their owners, the Yajamanas. If you want to take your husbands, Prajayasaha, with all the progenies, purified, energetic, that's what it means. Progenies, it was given Agnehe, it was given Daha. Agnehe means to the Agni. To the Agni, it was given as this thing, and they took around them the Devas around the Agni. The bride was given to the Agni means for the circumambulation. That is what even in the Hindu marriages, as per Surya Vivaha Sutram, they will come Agnivala. Pradakshinam around the Agni. They take Saptapadihi and 4 circumambulations worshipping the Agni. I will come to Pani Grahana next class. But today I will finish you. That means Agni was one of the forces, that's all, cosmic forces, helping to purify, and is not in human form like you and me. To call that technically as a husband of the the third husband of the bride, something interconnecting for mocking purposes. He is a first husband, he is a second husband, he is a third husband, Soma and all is a first. It is mockery. It is translation done by some missionaries, some 200-300 years back, still being carried on by our books, most of the books, and it is wrong. Absolutely wrong. 41 verses and all. Soma is the first husband, Gandharva is the second husband, and Agni is the third. Agni is a purity, is a Deva. We do not know his form. Now you come to the next verse, which is 39, before 40. 40 and 41 I explained to you last class, part 1. It says, Punaha Patnim Agnihi Punaha Patnim. Here Pati, and from Pati comes Patni, the wife. Her, the wife. Punaha Patnim Agni Adat. Agni gave Adat Ayusha cha Varchasa. Ayusha, Sakaranda Punlinga for students. Instrumental case. With Ayush, with long life, longevity, along with longevity, by longevity, Tritiya Vibhakti, third. So Ayusha cha Varchasa. Varchas means Jwala, effulgence, brightness. It's not fire. It's a halo. Something like that. The brightness, Varchasa, with the brightness. Again, Sakaranta Pullinkaha, Veda Shabdaha, all. So Vedasa, you will get Varchasa, Ayusha, Ayush. All these things come from the Sakaranta Pullinka Shabdaha, Tritiya Vibhakti, Ekavachanam, instrumental case, by or with or along with. Ayusha cha, Ayusha saha Varchasa, Dirga Ayuhu, longevity. Ayusha and Dirga Ayuhu. Dirga Ayuhu Asyaha, to her. Asyaha is a Strilinga. Idam, Iyam, Ime, Imaha, Imam, Imam, Ime, Imaha, like that. So, Asyaha. Asyaha Anayoho Asam. Asyam Anayoho asu. Like that we will get in the Strilinga. Iyam, ayam, imo, ime is Purushalinga, Punlinga. Or means this, her, this. Asyaha means it comes under the sixth vibhakti or even fifth. Sixth means of her. Asyaha yaha patihi. Who is the patihi, yajamanar? Who is the owner? Asyaha jivati sharadaha shatam. Jivati. Jiva, see, it comes from the jivati means long life. Sharadaha, autumn. Shatam, 100. 100 autumns he lives means autumns comes once in a year. It's a poetic way of saying 100 years. That's all. Sharadaha, sharadata. Jivati for students, jivati, jiv is a shabdu, but jivati is a special shabdaha which comes under the late lakara. That Panini gives exception 347. If you see the verse 347, the late lakara, they have special, the Vedic grammar is not jivati but jivati. This is ekavachanam. Latlakaraha only, instead of jivati, jivati comes. Because late lakaraha they give a special exemption. 11th lakara it is called. Panini's Sanskrit is only 10 lakara has there's a grammar. All this lat lakaraha, lit lakaraha, lung, lung, ring, rit and all. Ashir ling lakaraha, vidhi ling 10. Late lakaraha nobody knows. It's very not common in any book. So that's why it comes jivati means he should, simple meaning is he should live. Ekavachanam, prathama purushaha, third person. Jivati, lat lakaraha rupaha only. Tishtati, gacchati, titi. So, what does the entire words mean here? This punaha again, Agnihi gave, Adadat gave it to the Patihi. What Patihi? Asyaha yaha Patni. Of her, who is the Patni? That Patni Jivati Shataha 100. 100 what? Sharad. Sharad is what? Sharad Rido. Sharad is autumn. Sharad Rido, Grishma Rido, Hemanta Rido, and all we say. Shishira Rido. So, 6 seasons we have. 2 in Sanskrita. So, beautiful way of saying 100 autumns. That's all. Long life. Jivati. Asyaha yaha patihi. Of her, one who is a pati. So Agni gives back, blessing the bride. Is the artha you can take. It is not Agni is now the third husband and he is having her. And all. These are all mockery wrong. It is a symbolic way of saying Agni is the purity. So he gives the patni back. He gives the patni adat. Adat is a perfect Panini. Samskrita comes from da, adat. It is a lung lakara. Lang lakara, I think. Yeah, lang lakara, adat. He gave. Lung lakara only, I think it will come, adat. And he gave back to the yajamana, to the husband. If you want to take, because of this one is coming patnim, asyaha. These are all women only. That means that they are all purified by the Agni because it is Surya Vivahara Sutra and it has got nothing to do with Agni having her as his husband, third husband or something. These are all jokes. Patnim, it is meant to the Pati. Yaha asyaha Patihi. That's why she is called Patni because it relates to the Pati. So, Agni, what he does, Ayusha, Varchasa, Dirgha Ayusha, everything. He blesses her. He blesses her. Varchas, Jwali. The bride will have the Jwali because Agni is energy. He is not Surya. So, Agni blesses, worships, and if you say that if anybody you worship as a god in any religion and you say the god is keeping her as an husband, especially for the female devotees, it becomes meaningless. in old Vedic systems, especially before the advent of even Hinduism, the practices was just like the Persians, Zoroastrianism. And the Vedas, we had the Rigveda, Yajurveda, especially the Rigveda is the oldest among the four Vedas. It is a worship of the nature because they found out cosmic forces are very important for the 100 years of life for a human being. For his good sharira, good thinking, ano badraha kritavo yantu vishwataha. Ayantu badraha, let the pure come from the universe, thoughts. Badraha, ano badraha kritavo, from the vishwataha, from the universe. Let noble thoughts pour. That is what it is, the original philosophical thinking, worshipping the forces of nature, as Spinoza said. In Spinoza's ethics, God lives in nature, which Einstein, his devotee, his disciple, confirmed. Both are Jews. So this cannot be mocked upon. This is what is my advice to the general certain section of Tamil Nadu politicians who are ready to mock upon the Vedas or the Sanatana Dharma. They do not know. Neither the translation I am accepting, because some translation is there calling that to be the first husband, second husband, third husband. I am not saying no. The translation is wrong because it has got nothing to do with the Agni keeping, Soma keeping as a first husband in the 40 and the 41st verse. No. It is only the purifications, the stages of life. As you have the brahmacharya, the grihastha, the varnashrama and the sannyasa, there are stages of life. The girl goes first as a child, the purity, the cool mind of Soma. Then she gets into the music, the gandharva, the art. A girl has to have the art, the music, the design. And then she comes into the Agni for purification, energy, Shakti, Adipara Shakti. She is an energy. And then only the Patihi, after all these accomplishments of the bride, he accepts. That's overall, if you want to take, that is the meaning. So with this, I am ending this verse. The next, I will take the Panigrahana, which comes under the verse number 36 in the Rigveda. 10th book, that is 10th mandala, 85th chapter Vibhaga and 36th mantra. I will take that Panigrahana, very important, in the Surya Vivaha Sukta Rigveda. So with this, Bhuyat Tavat Shubhamangalam, please subscribe to my channel for its continuity. Hari Om.